This chapter has 3 irregular verbs, but effectively all you need to learn is one. You have the verb venir, and then the other two, revenir and devenir. You're just taking the conjugation of venir and then putting either the re or de prefix in front of either the present tense conjugation, in front of the past participle, in front of an imperfect conjugation, or any other verb tense. In terms of meaning, venir is the verb to come from a place. When we're using the verb aller, we're talking about going to a place, and the contrast there is venir is coming from a place. So the difference is the intent of the direction that the person's going. Revenir is to come back, and devenir is the verb to become. Now, I already have the present tense conjugations filled in so that I could write them neatly. So go ahead and give this video a pause so that you can get all of those filled in. All right, your passé composé conjugations, as you remember from the Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp acronym, that these 3 verbs all use être as their helping verb. And if you need a refresher, that means you're conjugating your helping verb as je suis, tu es, il est, l'on est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont. And then for your past participle, the second word of the passé composé conjugation, venir becomes venu. So these are irregular. We saw these also previously in our notes. It's not an I as it would be if it were a regular verb. You have a U at the ending, so venu. And then you just put re and de in front, and you have revenu, devenu. Now these are verbs that we've already seen conjugated in the passé composé. What's new about them is your present tense conjugations. Just as a reminder, because these are être verbs, you're going to have to make past participle agreement. So if we take venir as an example, if you were going to say he came from a place, it would be il est venu. But if she came from a place, it would be elle est venue. And we would add an e for past participle agreement. If it was they, il plural, the masculine they, it would be ils sont venus with an s. And if it was they, but it was a feminine they, elles sont venues with an es. So in terms of agreement, feminine singular is adding an e, masculine plural is adding an s, and feminine plural is adding an es, whereas the original masculine singular doesn't have any agreement on it. As you continue on to the back for your practice, you have present tense for the first 6, and then you're going to translate it. So it would be I come, you come back, we become, for example. In the passé composé, for the next 6, someone came back, someone became. So when you go to translate those, make sure you're being mindful of the verb tense that it's in. Present tense, you've got a 1-word conjugation coming from this chart up here. But for the passé composé, you're putting 2 words in the blank. You're putting your conjugation of être as your first word in the blank, and then your past participle, whichever one it is your second word of the blank, making agreement if you need to.